So, hi, today was a really rough day. I went out for like almost 6 hours and I literally made like almost $50, I think, because it's a small college town and like these college kids don't tip for nothing. And on my DoorDash, and I tried to figure out I made a call this morning trying to get on the phone with, I'm sorry, yesterday. Today's Saturday. Anyways, a lot of days are running together. um, so I tried to make a call, and apparently either the Clark County Kirk gave me the wrong information, and she gave me the prosecuting attorney's information, or apparently a deputy prosecutor of Clark County, Nevada, is actually presiding over my case. So apparently, I'm sorry, presiding, it's my court appointed attorney in my case. Back in 2018, I had a domestic violence case, and the boyfriend I had at the time, Anthony Calandra, was actually into methamphetamines and possibly some other stuff, I don't know. But he was a recovering addict and he tried his best, but he just relapsed. I ended up having to have an issue with my throat, and I got a big old goose egg, which was just a cyst. But I think they said it's Ludwig's angina because I've had a tooth here that I've had issues with, and since I was 17 years old, I was supposed to go get a permanent cap, and I never did. Anyway, so it got really bad infected, and I have dental insurance. It's hard to come by anyway, so I ended up having to go to the hospital. Like that morning, I woke up with a little bit of a bump on my, like a little bit of swelling, and then by nighttime, it was like so big that it was just like a big old blob. And so I ended up going to the ER and I got hospitalized. And I wasn't able to call him and I wasn't able to contact him. Anyways, it said him into relapse because he thought I was trying to leave him secretly. I had bought some new sheets and I bought him like, what did I buy? Like a t-shirt or something. I bought him something that he thought, oh, well, she's just giving me gifts because she's getting ready to leave me. That's what they always do, kind of thing. That's what he expected. So anyways, he went off and he started doing drugs again. Long story short, that made him crazy. And unfortunately, the day I was trying to leave him several months later, I actually ended up, I didn't have a vehicle, I didn't have transportation, I didn't have anything then. I had a bicycle. And so I was trying to call Uber so I could get my stuff, but my phone had been cut off because at the time I was still on SSI and that's the only income I really had. And so I ended up going and trying to get my Uber, but as I was walking out, he went in and grabbed my basket of things that I had packed up and was preparing to leave, and he actually was trying to take them out. Well, the police had already told me that I'm authorized to stay there. I had permission, I was legal, whatever. So he didn't have a right to throw my stuff out. The problem is, the part of Vegas we were at was somebody will come walk up and take my stuff and walk away with it before I get back. And they're not going to do anything. And like the manager and the security guard and everybody was just kind of ganging up on me because they didn't like the fact that they found out that they had to legally evict me at that point, because she gave me permission to stay there. And so, anyways, so she wasn't happy about that. And when Anthony got mad, he would always always say things, make up stories or whatever. Apparently I was on drugs and apparently I was doing this and I was doing that and I was screwing everybody, that people we worked. I passed out flyers, made like $20-$30 every now and then. So that was my other source of income. That's it. And so I would go, and he said I was sleeping with the other flyer guys. I would walk everywhere. I got sick. I get car sick, so I don't like taking the bus. It makes me really sick. So I just would get off the bus and walk, and it would take me a couple hours to get back. So that's that. Anyways, that ended in domestic violence because as he was walking me back with my basket of things, he ended up like the stairs to go downstairs was like, I'm gonna say I mean, if I'd have took about 5 more steps, and as fast as he was walking me backwards, I would have went down those stairs. No, there was like a little curve of stairs, and then there was like a went straight down after that. And that's what, I don't know if I would have made it. It was bad. So this was like, I want to say what, 3, maybe 4 stairs, whatever. Not even, maybe 2 or 3 stairs, and then it just goes straight. It curves, and then it goes straight down, very steep. In the concrete, there was a sidewalk there, and there was gravel there, and so it was an absolute mess. And so I honestly can't remember. I had this new phone. It was really big. Everybody would say, "Oh wow, that's a huge phone." It was actually really big. And so I had the phone in my hand, of course, because I was getting ready to go because I had to pay my phone bill because my phone had gotten cut off, so I couldn't pay it. And the bill was due, and so it had gotten cut off. And it was one of those pay as you go, so it automatically got cut off. Anyways, and so it was a mess. The Uber was like 2, maybe 3 blocks down the road. I'm sorry, the phone bill place, the Cricket, was about 2, maybe 3 blocks down the road. So I went to pay the Cricket, and then instead of going about my way and just went ahead and doing it, I ended up telling him, "No, wait, don't throw my stuff out." And so had my hand, "No, please stop." Like, I'm getting my stuff, I'm leaving. That's the whole point we're having this issue right now, is because you found out I was leaving, and he's just not registering, and he just doesn't care, and he's gonna throw my stuff, in the thing. And so he goes and tells the manager and all this. And long story short, we ended right there on the stairs. And he goes and he literally, I want to say he walked into it, because I went to take and I had my phone. I'm dominantly right-handed. And so I had my phone in my right hand, like I do right now. Yeah. And so I went to knock the basket out of his hand. And I'll be honest with you, I might have been mad. I might have hit him, but I really don't think I do. So I think what I did is I went to knock the basket, but I remember because he was like 5'4", right? And I'm 5'6.5", 5'7". And so he literally, like, he's this short Italian guy. He was almost 50, but you couldn't tell for nothing. I thought he was like my age. He was a good looking guy. And so, and he was younger in many other respects too. Like, he was a really good guy, but he just drugs. And so, long story short, yeah, it was a mess. So I got arrested, and nobody would hear what I had to say. And I had a prosecuting, my court appointed, all he cared about, he said his job was to get me out of jail, and his job was done. That's it. So he said, take the plea deal, or take the deal. He said, if you plead no contest, then what they'll do is you'll get out of jail today, and you'll have a domestic violence record, and you'll lose your gun rights, and that'll be that. And he said, you'll be on a 6-month suspended sentence. He said, I can do time served, because I was in jail for like almost 7 days. But I could do time served for community service, because I had like 40, 50 hours, something like that I was supposed to do. And that was that. But unfortunately, I walked up on a drug deal. Literally, it was either the day before or the day before the day before. It was that weekend. It was either Saturday or Sunday that I literally walked up on a drug deal. And in the middle of the night, when I was on my way back, because by that time I had started doing some passing out cards or something for somebody on the strip, for a strip club promotion. And so I had started doing that. I want to say I'd started doing that. I was on the strip doing something, and then I came back, and then the person had the gun. I didn't see the gun, but he was demonstrating with a needle how to use a needle, and he was doing a drug deal, and it was the place that I was sleeping at. And, anyways, whatever. So my brother put me on a plane and flied me out to North Carolina to keep me safe, because I was gonna get killed. And so, and he actually actively threatened me. I asked him what he was doing there, and I said, hey, the guy that's having me stay here, he said he doesn't want nobody here. He told me to keep an eye out for him. I mean, could you kind of not do this here, And like, he just like went off on me. Of course, I'm really naive and thinking that's going to be okay, but I thought he was a friend of a friend. And I was like, okay, well, that's what it is. Because just because somebody's out there selling drugs and has a gun doesn't mean they're bad. I mean, there's people that can argue that, but inside it doesn't mean whatever. It doesn't mean they'll screw anybody over. That's my point. But yeah, so that I found out. I have a no walk warrant. And I ended up actually getting the information for my court appointed attorney. My court appointed attorney ended up being the prosecuting attorney over the case. So I'm pretty sure it was a mistake, but I didn't realize it until I started talking to him. And I was like, are you my defense attorney or are you a prosecuting attorney? I'm like, you're treating me like a prosecutor. And so I Googled his name and apparently, yes, he is a prosecuting attorney. And he's actually the active prosecuting attorney. So now that I gave him information, even though he didn't really realize that I was assigned, and as he said, well, I don't have you on my docket. I don't understand that. And I was like, well, I said, they gave me your number and said that you're my new court appointed attorney. And of course, me and my nerves, I'm just blabbering on about the case, right? Well, anyway, so now I gave him pertinent information regarding the case. So he's got a conflict of interest. I don't know if it's conflict of interest or bias. No, I want to say it's bias. But anyway, so he's not going to be able to do anything. But yeah, so it's a legal issue. It's major. That was my day. I drove around. I spent half a tank of gas. I made like less than $50-$60. That's it. Terrible day. Terrible day. But I just figured I would give an update. I'm gonna start doing that. Because I think it's helpful. Even if nobody ever watches it, which they probably will. I don't know. It's just something, it's preparing me to be, I guess, better at, talking in front of the camera. I have this tendency to ramble because of my nerves and all kinds of other things. I also guess I just wanted that out there because it's just such a mess. I didn't do anything. Like, he was trying to push me down the stairs. He should have pushed me down the stairs. And now I can't even go back to Vegas. If I do, I'm gonna go to jail. He literally sat there and told me, he's like, well, I'm not even gonna waste my time and even try to do anything. He said, if you're not here in front of the judge, ready to stand in front of the judge. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go straight to jail. You're gonna try? No, that's not gonna work. We're not doing that. It's a misdemeanor, so they don't extradite for that. Which I'm grateful because, I'm to my wits' end. I would go crazy. I can't take it. And especially because I didn't even get a fair trial in the first place. I didn't have no money. I didn't have nobody. I didn't know anybody. At the time, I was worse off than I am now because I was on medication. I desperately needed to get out of jail because I was already starting to get sick because of my withdrawals. And those withdrawals made me so crazy. And apparently, they got sued by their investors. And they won like, what, 60 some odd $1 million for the discontinuation syndromes alone because of the severity, the half-life. And they just didn't tell it. They omitted stuff in their trials and whatever so they could hurry up and get it passed by the FDA. But anyways, I didn't go to the hospital and I was too scared of doctors, so I didn't get a cut of that. Whatever. As much as it messed my life up, I could have been literally I could have went to the Constitution, but I'm sorry, I could have sued with the Constitution and won right to remove class action status from me and allowed me to go after him personally, and I would have got several $1 million from what happened to me because I was homeless for years and like it was bad. It was really bad, like almost a decade. I almost say over a decade. No, almost a decade. It was 2021 when I kind of started getting things together. But even though I was homeless, I was still kind of actively getting things together because after the pandemic, prices and everything got jacked up. Everything went crazy. So you can't find a place to stay unless you're making at least. In order to balance everything properly, and especially with my anxiety, because like if I don't make lists and if I don't set alarms, I get absolutely nothing done. Money management, out the window. Out the window. But yeah, so I guess that's just what it is. But yeah, I'm a mess. But I'm doing a bunch of shadow work and things and really working on myself, which is what I'm gonna do this next video on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a second part so it's not so long and drawn out. I'm sorry I'm blind. I gotta I gotta squint to be able to see it.